Hello everyone, welcome back to your second week of virtual class. No webcam this time because I just did a 6-mile walk around Dallas and I look very tired and a little rough because it's Sunday evening. But whenever you guys hear this, hopefully it'll be Monday morning and you're ready to get back to work and you had a great weekend. I know that this is kind of weird, just this whole situation is really uncertain, and at times like these, whenever things are unknown, is when people aren't necessarily scared. Well, some people are scared, but just because nothing is really for certain. So what I want you guys to start doing, at least over this week, is to start finding the hope and figure out if you think that hope is always around you, you just have to find it, or if you have to create your own hope. Because no matter which one you believe, as long as you find it, it's going to be really good for you. So that is the topic of what our assignment is today. I went to my Google Classroom so that I could show you guys how to do it because we're using a new website. So this first assignment, I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to go to my instructions. And you're going to see there's an annotated hope is the thing with feathers. And I'm going to be working on that during this video to help you, and it'll be attached to your assignment. But you guys, to do the work, you'll go right here where it says sign in to actively learn. And you'll use the exact same information to log in as you would to your Google Classroom. Okay, so I am logged in as a student. So I just wanted you to see what this might look like. So when you log in, it's going to have the directions up here and asks you to think about the nature of hope, which is exactly what I just said. Think about your own experiences, and as you guys are reading, you can click on any word that you don't know and get the definition. So first of all, this poem is written by Emily Dickinson. She was a woman poet, and we are also reading a poet by a woman because we're at the very end of Women's History Month, which was all during March. So Emily Dickinson was a very misunderstood figure in history, because people thought she was secluded, like she kept to herself, and people thought that she was weird and thought that she purposely pushed everyone away. But actually, she was the OG pioneer in social distancing. She had a very active social life, but she always made people stay away from her because that was just kind of her personality. So she used letters both to show love and friendship. So before you guys start reading, I am going to want you guys to respond to that question that I gave to you about what or who. So it can be a thing, or it can be a person maybe, that gives you hope when your community or just your friends feel distant. Because I know many of you have felt really weird and awkward and frustrated that you can't go out and see your friends, you can't go play basketball, you can't do anything at all. You have to just stick your head out the window to feel like you're going somewhere. So once you respond to that question, you'll be able to go through. I'm going to scroll just a little bit to show you guys that it is on my page, it's showing me all of the questions, but on yours, it's going to stop. And so you're not going to be able to go forward until you've answered each question. So I'm going to, and just a little demonstrate right here. If I don't know what purchase is, I can just click on it and it'll say define, translate, or anything that you want. You also can go up to the top, and there are also going to be all sorts of things that you can do. You can have it read to you. You can do whatever you need. So I'm going to go to my version of the poem, and I'm going to take some notes. So I'm going to do a first read where I don't annotate anything. I'm just going to read straight through, and I'm going to write what my first impression of the poem is. So the title: Hope is the thing with feathers. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul, and sings the tune without the words, and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. So I'm real quickly going to put just a comment that to me, that tells me that hope, something to do with hope, is everywhere and doesn't ask for anything. And I said that because just at the very top it says, hope sings and never stops. I just want to highlight some details that help me understand. Hope never stops. And then at the bottom, it says it asked a crumb of me, except this word never. It never asked anything from me. So that is what I got. And then there's all this other stuff in the middle that I'm sure some of it is important, but if I keep this idea in mind, everything else will make a little bit more sense. So I'm going to break it down stanza by stanza now. Hope is the thing with feathers. So remember, that is the title as well. And whenever it is something that seems like an object or seems like something random, it's probably a symbol or it represents something else. And this title gives me the clue about what it represents. Hope is a thing with feathers. Well, gee, I wonder what the feathers thing could be. Maybe hope is a bird? I don't know, question mark, perhaps. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul. Perches, I could look that up if I need to. And sings, so hope sings. Hope doesn't literally sing. Maybe it's a bird that sings and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard. Maybe it's talking about the song again. So we're going to refer back to that song and connect these things. Sings a sweet song in the gale, and that's a wind. And sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird. Oh, look, there it is. It tells you that's a bird that kept so many warm. So this is a really difficult stanza. And you just need to catch on to this part, and sore must be the storm. Because in Emily Dickinson's mind, she is trying to tell you it must have been a really bad situation for the bird to be silenced. Because the first stanza tells you that the singing never stops. And then suddenly in the second stanza, it says it could have bashed the little bird, which means literally like if you think of what it sounds like, it's like bashing the bird. It's hitting the bird, so it's not able to sing anymore. So that means that storm, that if you imagine a bird flying through the storm, it's hard for it to sing, it's hard for it to fly, it's hard for it to live, and it must be a really, really bad storm if it's able to destroy a bird that before always was singing. So that's a really important note. And I want you guys to think, what could you compare that to? A really bad situation that it's impossible to find hope, or it's really hard to find the positive situation light of it. I wonder if any of us have gone through situations like that. I've heard it in the chillest land, so cold places, and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. So even when you're in it's really scary and really cold and really weird place, hope never demands anything of you. It's just always going to be there for you. So those are a couple of notes that you can use combined with your own experiences to go into your assignment and see how you can answer those questions. Remember just to reach out if you ever have a hard time with these questions. I will be available all day tomorrow, which is Monday. So just send me a remind or a note on Google Classroom and I will pop on and do what I can. Okay? All right. Well, good luck, everybody.